Hi, it's Francesca Nunez for No Longer Silence. Before I start tonight, real quick, my topic is going to be on child abuse, but I am going to open my podcast tonight to a very good friend of mine. His name is Mike Taylor. He just lost his daughter, 22 years old, to gun violence. She got shot innocently in the head, and he called me a few minutes ago if he can come on my podcast, and to me it's an honor to have him on tonight. Though my topic is on child abuse, because it hit me again with my granddaughter, unfortunately, but I am going to open my podcast to him tonight because he's not only a colleague, he's an amazing activist, and I would never, ever want that knocking on my door when I have 3 children. I cannot put myself in his position right now of what he's going through. Who's ever been on my Facebook, I've been sharing all the videos of every meeting he has assist, doing an outcry to find the person that did this. May God help him. I'm there with him because we all have kids. We have grown kids, and like I said, I would never want that knocking on my door. I don't know. I send him prayers. I send him all my love, and like I say, he's my colleague. He's a wonderful, wonderful advocate for the children. And right now I send prayers to him and his entire family, and also in the community that, unified with him so we get justice for Mary Taylor, and she rest in peace.
Amen.
So before I even start, he should be coming in, any minute. And I told him I was going to recite a poem, and it just fits with what I'm going through and he's going through, a child's pain. To look upon your child's face, to hold your child in a warm embrace, to be able to smooth their aches and pain and kiss away the falling rain. To taste the salt from the teardrops, which never seems to want to stop. To be able to comfort him or her when in trouble, it makes it seem like a small bubble. To pop it within their face and let them know it's no disgrace. For all mankind, make no mistake, in this world struggle and strive, the child learns to stand and fight. They look towards you in their hours of need, and knows that you're in a friend indeed. Give them all the love you can, for later in life you may need that hand. As I say this, I want to thank Grown Folks Talking for stepping up to the plate Wednesday for me, and Adrian coming on and doing my podcast, which she did an awesome job. I listened in a little because my granddaughter, who is 6 years old, got abused again. It's unfortunately that I have to say personally, in the city of Patterson, we're lacking our children. We're lacking the safety of our children. We have an administration that, I'm sorry, responsibly, the anger I had last week and I still continue to have is questioning myself why. Why would someone want to hurt a child that doesn't speak and can't defend herself? We have a big issue here, and I have to admit, in the city of Patterson, where some stuff is not addressed or they just want to sweep it under the rug and think our children don't have voice. I am and will continue and will always be my granddaughter's voice. And I will get the individual, which I already know who did this, and you will be processed. And you will be charged for this because we cannot let this continue. My topic tonight was child abuse, and I wanted to read an article that I read today that really disturbed me because we got good parents. We got a lot of individuals that really care about children, but it disturbed me to read something where all around we have to protect our children no matter what. And this was an article that broke my heart that was sent to me. A disturbing incident unfolded on the 90th block of Carroll Street. A 5-year-old child reportedly stabbed on the right side by their mother, who is reported to be experiencing emotional disturbance and hearing voices, according to the preliminary details from the police communication today at 4 o'clock. As I read this, I'm a very emotional person. I wanted to cry. This is a child that's 5 years old. And I've spoken so many times in my podcast that mental health is real. It's real, real, real out there. As I read this article and I sympathize with what happened to my granddaughter, I always think in my head, we have to be mindful of who we contract in the transportation bus department, who our children are around, bus aides or, teachers or whatever. I got to say, the mindset that people have nowadays, we have to be extremely careful and observe our children when they come home on the bus from school. I emphasize this. I did this calling last week. I spoke to many parents, and where no matter what you're doing, stop what you're doing, and when your child comes home, from head to toe, check them. If you saw something that they didn't have in the morning when you was dressing them, immediately call the school. Go down the food chain of who did what. If you know consciously that your child in the morning when you dressed them, they did not have that mark on them, address that immediately the same day. I emphasize that very strongly. I'm the one that saw the mark on my granddaughter, and it hurts me that day when I gave her a bath, I noticed a huge mark under her arm by her nipple, the size of my hand. And I immediately called my daughter and I told her, "Did you see this?" And she was, "I know, she ain't had that this morning." My granddaughter may not speak, but she grabbed 2 of my fingers to touch the bruise on her body. That's letting me know that she knew somebody hurt her. So with that being said, they may not speak, but they will show you. Mm-hmm. So they will show you. So even though he thinks he or she can get away with it, you picked the wrong grandma. That's all I got to say. That's why I said tonight's topic is like very sensitive. Sometimes we overpass with our busy schedule, probably cooking, if we work at home, and sometimes the children come, they take their clothes off and they go in the room. And like I said, I emphasize very, very much when your children are under that age, check them. It only takes a few minutes because we want them safe. We don't know, especially if they're on a spectrum and their special needs that they can't talk or semi-verbal. We still have to check them because we are their voice. We don't know what happens in school. And I can understand there can be a little tussle into students. I can understand that. If the teacher sees something, say something, report it to the parents. I always keep saying that it's not like back in the days. We used to get reports. We used to get incident reports. Nowadays, we don't get nothing. And when we address the situation, we get attacked. We get talked smack too. And I'm like, why are you getting like that? If we as the parents see something, we need to know exactly what happened. And it has to go down the food chain, from the teacher to the bus driver to whoever. And you have to answer when a parent is asking a concern. I don't want to hear that you're going to, disrespect the parent, which that's exactly what happened with my daughter. But they didn't try with me. I was another story. They were civil and they spoke to me. And I just want to know what exactly happened and answers in camera footage again. So that made me speak today on that topic. And also my colleague who lost his daughter to gun violence, where we have that major issue, 22 years old, still in the prime of her life, and he has to go through this grief. And I asked myself why this is going on. And she was not the only, I'm not going to say casualty, she wasn't the only person. Unfortunately, my morning guy lost his nephew the same day to 14 gunshots, minding his business. and got 14 gunshots that same day that my colleague lost his daughter. So we have like a big issue where we're losing our children innocently to people, you know, in the streets that don't throw hands, but they figure a gun is a solution to every problem. But then you leave the aftermath that when an individual that have nothing to do with it gets caught in the crossfire. And we're left to grieve our children and then have no answers. Person ain't caught. And we have mothers and fathers grieving now over their children because the administration don't know how to give answers. They just want to stay quiet. The same thing with my situation with my granddaughter. They don't want to say absolutely anything, and they just want to keep quiet. So all of my kings and queens tonight, it might get a little, I'm not going to say crazy. I did a calling on Facebook that whoever wanted to come in and talk about our children was more than welcome to come on my podcast because my granddaughter is not the only one. I connected with a lot of parents last week that are going through the same thing. Also, the violence that's going on here in the city of Patterson is just out of control. It's just crazy. We're losing our children innocently, you know, on the crossfire, and it shouldn't be. I always say it takes a village. I am backing up my Taylor 100%. I've known him. He's a wonderful father, wonderful activist for the children. And I can go on the list of what I can say for him because he not only would fight for his daughter, but he would fight for your children too. No question asked. He's like boots on the ground. So I am always keeping him in my prayers because I know it's not an easy situation. And I'm here for him 100%. Wherever he wants to take this, I'll be standing by him because I say help someone else because if I know if it was to happen to me, he will reach out to me and stand by me too. And that's how I roll, whoever knows me. So he will be, you know, I know he'll be coming in, and I just told him to announce himself and that I was going to give him the floor so he can speak basically on whatever he feels that he wants people to know up in my podcast to be aware. So if anybody has anything they want to openly say about what I'm discussing or talking tonight, feel free to say something because I will be. Go ahead, sweetheart.
This is Adrian. How you doing, Francesca?
I'm good. I just want to say. Go ahead.
I wanted to come on tonight because I wasn't able. I'm having problems with my phone, so I wasn't able to get on my Toastmasters. So I said, Francesca. You know. And it was a joy, as always, doing sitting in for you before, because that's my heart. You know, children in abuse situations. You know, like you said, children are non-fighters. You know, you can't tell me the child deserved it. You can't tell me the child needed it. You know, and like you, I say the parent or the adult in the situation needs help, not the child. You know, but unfortunately, that's what society focuses on. You know, the child, and that's been a battle for me for the last 20 plus years. You know, we worry about the child, and we should, but we have to do something about the parent because it shouldn't happen more than once.
Exactly.
You know, I know specialists say, you know, we can't jump right in the first time something happens until we know what's really going on. You know, sometimes you just know what's really going on. And you can always find people to say, yeah, because I witnessed this and I witnessed that. But the so-called professionals, they want to wait and see. I said, wait and see what? When the funeral is, you know, I get real sarcastic with them, you know. But it's a horrible thing, and the most, like somebody told me, the most we can do is pray that things will change. You know, that's our strongest defense is prayer. And perhaps somebody will be touched in a way that these people, and I don't blame them if they have mental health or emotional problems, but I blame them if they're not getting help. You know?
No, absolutely. Everything that you just said, I'm in agreement. Like I said, the times that we're living now is, I always say I'm learning. I'm learning because the mentality I had back in the days is nothing compared to now. When I see some stuff that's going on, I said, wow, I know we went through some stuff back in the days, but it's not like what I'm seeing now, which is just crazy because I know if hands were put on me, the first thing my mother would have done was go to the school, address it right there. Mm-hmm. And the principal, teacher, nurse, or whatever, they were there to give an explanation. And now you got to go through the trenches just to get an explanation. And I'm like, I say like, my God, if this was your child, you would want an explanation, you know what I mean? And like right. I said, also with the article that was sent to me that I was like, oh, God, I'm going to talk about this topic. And now I read this. We have mothers that, have, like fathers too, mental illness comes ballpark in different right. situations, like, off meds, on meds. So there's some meds that do harsh side effects. And unfortunately, we have a child now that got stabbed on the right side, now in the hospital, only 5 years old, and sometimes you read stuff like this and be like, am I reading what I'm reading? Am I seeing what I'm seeing? Right. And it's like different things that you see that go on, and you just sit and be like, why? Why is this stuff going on? And, is there something like to fix it, rectify it? We, like I said, I'm a strong advocate. We have so much money coming into the city of Patterson, and there's no excuses because I have to throw this up here, my people. We have buildings, whoever is from Patterson, we have buildings going up, massive buildings going up, and no one can't tell me that we can't do something, recreation centers for these children, after school programs for these children, right. have a center for mental health to address these situations. But then when you sit with the individual to try to come with a solution, it's like passed by like, oh, well, think about it. But then you're building a multi-million building to profit from low-income families on a 2,000 rent apartment, 1,600, 3,100. But then you're telling me you can't invest in something simple that could rectify some of these situations. But I'm quite sure if we won the lottery, all of us that are up here in the broadcast, and our heart is in the right place, we probably built that stuff, and then they want to catch shades and shake hands with you and cut ribbons that, y'all did that, but y'all were supposed to do it. Why do the little people have to think about outside the box, That's why I say I hope I don't win the lottery, because this one right here, the situations that I see, I would definitely blow it on helping this situation.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
you just reminded me of something. There was a situation a couple of months ago where it was a big uproar because there was the scouting. The Boy Scouts mm-hmm. had a center that the community was using as an after-school program and stuff. And they decided, the powers that be in scouting decided that would be better used as a different type of center. So they shut it down, the Children's Community Center, just to put another center in where they it's a good cause, but they feed in the homeless and they have all kinds of workshops going on, to help people get jobs. But in the meantime, the kids are in the street. And that's what the battle was. They was like, well, it's more important for us to get these adults in jobs. No, put that center up somewhere else. There's other community centers that are empty. But that was that's what the battle was about. I don't know how it ended or if it ended, but I know last month we were talking about that. on Bill Gray's show.
No, and it's true, Adrian. Like I said, it's sad to see, all this stuff going on. It's sad to even see that I'm in a position where I thought I would never be. Never in my life would I be that I would be defending my own, grandbabies. Yeah, granddaughter. And the anxiety is an all-time high where you're always thinking, are they safe? The phone calls, the texts, are they okay? Did you check them? Because I get scared. I get scared, and it's a normal reaction for me to feel that way. It makes my job, it makes everything that I'm doing a little more difficult because my head is, focused on, texting my daughter, just making sure they're okay. Are you all right? Did you check them? And she'd be like, Ma, I did. I said, I worried. And when it hits when you're helping other people addressing that situation and it touches you, you sit there and you start, it hits different because I'll be like, oh, my God, it touched my baby, and all emotions starts, coming inside your whole body. You don't know what to do, how to, when it comes to you, and that anger just comes inside of you. You just want to rip and stuff, and you just want to keep the peace and address it accordingly with a lot of class and not coming out of character. But now I understand these parents, and that's why I always say when I see situations, I always say, Father God, please don't ever let it hit my door. And when it does, I'll be like, wow, it hits different. Not that I don't feel for the parents, because any child that's hurt, I make sure I help the parents, go to who they have to go, address who they have to address. But when it hits me, I'll be like, wow, I feel like some type of way. And I'll be like, now I can understand more fully their frustration, their anger, because now it hit me for the second time. And I said, listen, I'm standing up talking, and it's not going to be a third time, because we can't wait for a third time. This is the second time. The next time, I can understand what a parent comes fully out of character and does total mayhem and chaos. But it shouldn't be, because if somebody's addressing this is a second time, let's deal with this accordingly so there's not a third time. Because with me, it's not going to be a third time, because literally this is recording, but whoever knows me, they know what I'm capable of, because it can't be a third time. We have to stop. Our children go to the school to learn and to be safe. And to us, that's a safe haven. We shouldn't have to be at work or anywhere else thinking,
worry about if your child is okay. Yeah.
Is your child okay? And that's and then you wonder why people get anxiety, all kind of nervousness, because my mind is always here, there, and I do multiple things. And I'm like, now I got to worry about this situation, stay on top of this while I'm helping this person. And like I said, now I can put myself fully in the parent's position completely, not being a parent, but being as a grandma. And I'm like, okay, this is what's going to be. So sometimes I always say God picks a chosen one, and I can say people keep saying you're the chosen one because you're more of a, boots on the ground. You're not scared to say what you got to say or do what you got to do or knock on doors. And sometimes, they be like, listen, it might be your calling to fight this battle here and help everybody else. But I tell them it's not something I want to repeatedly happen to any of my grandbabies or to anyone else's, because this is something that when you knock on doors, you start getting, I'm going to look into it. And I'd be like, if it was your child, it'd be addressed in 24 hours.
Right.
Don't
Can I
get
ask
me.
you a question?
Go ahead, sweetheart.
How you doing, Francesca?
I'm doing good.
Frankie, right?
Yeah.
You ever think of running for office, like Patterson City Council or something like that?
Thank you.
I
just
think
a couple.
you'll be a good one. I think you'll be a good one.
Well, you know what? I'm going to publicly, it's being recorded. A couple of weeks ago, I was thrown that big question at me because of my integrity, my character, my honesty, and the care for the children, the seniors, all ballpark around. They did tell me, why don't you? So I'm looking at this year is a little too late because it's in November, but I am looking at the next election, which is in 2025. So yes, I would love to, in behalf of not only my granddaughter, but in behalf of all the children in the city of Patterson, because, like I said, what we have sitting up there now, let's see what happens in November. But yes, I'm looking at that avenue because my heart is really for the children. I got love for, the seniors. I address situations, and I'm not a political person. I am always called to address stuff, and I get it done immediately. So someone was like, why don't you run? I said, I really don't want the headache, but because this situation is happening, I might as well go for it because I have the platform, my people, and I have the heart. So I'm looking into that avenue very fiercely. I am, because they're saying that's what they need.
I think you'd be good. And the thing about it is, the only problem with politics is if you sign up to be Democrat or Republican, they usually want you to go with the program. Now, sometimes if you don't go with the program, they get upset with you.
Exactly, and I want to. Exactly, and I'm going to answer that question. I had a good friend, who I'm not going to mention his name, where he won alone, impartial, not affiliating himself with Democrat, Republican. He won alone and sat there and went against everything they believed, and he did his job. Unfortunately, he went for another term and did not win, not because of the people, because they monkey wrenched his election, because he was the person that did exactly what needed to be done. He wasn't in no one's pocket. He did an amazing job. The parents were very upset that when he tried to go for a second term, he did not win, not because of the voters, because of what they tried to do in the election that we all saw. So when, like Miles says, sometimes if you don't go with the flow, that's what happens. But unfortunately, try it with me. I don't go with the flow. I'm not in nobody's pocket. But something has to change. Someone has to be up there exactly like the individual that was there that did exactly what needed to be done. There was some change in some stuff that was going on. He was the to-go person when stuff was happening with the autism children, and he would go into the school or into the board of education and address it with the head honcho, and everything got fixed. That's why I said, unfortunately, he was my to-go person. I don't trust who's up there with my grandbabies or any situation, and I've had to go over their heads because of that same problem. When you tell them, they look at you like you're retarded, like you're not saying nothing of validation. But if it was your child, I would say in 24 hours that would be rectified. But we, the people, it has to take weeks, even months. It shouldn't be. If it's our children, it shouldn't be. I am very upset. That is the second time. I'm tired of looking at the picture. I have not cried one time. I'm angry and I'm frustrated. And I just think it's totally across the board disgusting that you can sleep at night and know you put hands. I do have, I think he's up here. Mike Taylor, I think, is up here. So, Mike, if you're up here, I am going to give you the floor. It's an honor to have you here tonight. Again, my condolences to you and the entire family, and I stand with you.
My condolences also.
So you can speak, Mike. We're all here. Whatever you want to say tonight on tonight, feel free.
Hello?
Hi.
Francesca?
Yes, we are. We're here, and I already announced that you was coming tonight to speak. We all, sympathize with you, and like I said, my heartfelt condolences. What happened to your daughter, Mary Taylor? So we're all here, and whatever you feel like saying tonight, we're all ears. And like I said, it's an honor that you reached out to me. So the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Francesca. Sincerely. I really wasn't prepared, but I just want to first got to say thank you to everyone who's on right now that has my daughter and my family in prayers. I really appreciate you all. It's been rough, I must admit. But my emphasis on the present state of the Patterson is not just my daughter. I want to use this platform that has been forced upon me, and want to cease all the shootings and unnecessary killings in Patterson. You have to pardon me right now. I wasn't really ready. I'm sitting in the park right now. Didn't realize I was going to get through. So just bear with me if y'all can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Definitely, we can hear you.
Okay, but right now, just taking it day by day. I'm past the crying stage. I took action. Went down to the I don't want to speak too much about what I have done, to be honest with you, as far as dealing with the police and an investigation.
Okay.
So it's a lot going on, and I will be meeting. Hopefully, I'll be meeting with the Attorney General. I do have a meeting scheduled with the mayor, but my thing is I want to hold the Attorney General accountable. Just like the Patterson Police Department is suing the Attorney General right now, as of yesterday, for actually taking over the Patterson Police Department, and it actually has that decision has definitely been a big part of my daughter's case.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable explaining exactly what happened the day that happened? Do you know what time? And so everybody can know exactly what happened to your daughter that day? Do you feel comfortable?
No, I could just tell you briefly. I can't really say exactly what happened that day because I really don't know what happened that day. I really don't.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can't really say too much, even if I did, though, to be honest with you, because I don't want to jeopardize the investigation. And it's a process that I'm learning on a daily basis on how the detective work actually go.
How old was your daughter?
My daughter was 22.
Okay. Academically, can you say a little bit how she was in school so everybody knows? Because I know. I follow you on Facebook, but can you say a little bit about your daughter academically? Was she liked it? So we can all see and know how big of a loss this really was and the senseless thing, how it happened.
Oh, academically, my daughter did graduate through Patterson Public School. It was a rough ride and everything, but she basically maintained, I think, a 2.3, a final grade average, somewhere like that. And it was really trying. You know, most the way now that I have to deal with the mayor, Attorney General, it's almost prepped me. My dealing with the Patterson Board of Education and sitting down in executive meetings have prepped me with what I'm going to have to deal with in the near future. So, but back on to my daughter, besides academically, what the joy that she brought me, that she played softball, basketball, and she was both for East Side. She played for both East Side and Kennedy. So that's just a little bit about my daughter when schooling.
Yeah, the reason I ask you is because sometimes, like I said, when stuff like that happens, academically, because you're, I did start saying from the beginning when I started my program, what an awesome father you are, what an awesome activist you are too, because I said you didn't only fight for your daughter, but you fought for many children. You was always at the Board of Education Council meeting fighting for our children. And like I said, I stand with you, not 100%, 200%, because I know exactly who you are, your boots on the ground, and I know I'm praying on it that you get the justice you well deserve, that this will happen, doesn't happen to anybody, anybody. Like I said, you're sitting now in the park, so I'm imagining sitting right there by you, just, like I said, I can't put myself in your position. I have 3 children myself. They're of age, and like you just said yesterday, I commend you. Bold move that you went to that town hall meeting and you said, do we feel safe? No, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safety for my grandchildren. I don't feel safety for my kids. I don't. They don't. I'm constantly calling them. If they're at the store, we're on the phone until they get home, because I'm a mother and a grandmother, and I feel exactly what you said yesterday when you asked everybody in the audience, do you feel safe in the city of Patterson? No, I don't feel safe. Not with all this stuff that's going on. And when it hits us, I say when it individually hits us, it hits different when we are constantly helping other people. So I can say that I can't put myself in your position. When I saw the expression on your face yesterday, I literally wanted to cry. I said, let the man speak, because he is grieving, and this is his daughter. And to have somebody in the audience say whatever they were saying, oh, my God, like I told you over our conversation, I wish I was there, because you cannot stop somebody from speaking when they're grieving, especially when they're expressing something valid. Here in this area, Patterson, we're not safe, and our children are not safe. And that what happened to your daughter should have never happened. It should have never happened to you or anybody that was involved, because I think I heard it was like more than 3 shootings that day. One of the other shootings hit home for one of my patients in the morning. His nephew was caught in the crossfire that day too. I forgot what age Josh told me he was, and there we go, that it hit also one of my patients. So it's not, an easy thing. He gets buried this Sunday. The father and the mother are like practically bursting into constant tears every single day. Who wants to bury their child? No one. No one. And like you said, when you knock on doors for answers, they look at you like you're crazy. They don't have time for you. And no, you have to address the situation. And like you said, recreation centers, okay, we want that. A little too late now for me, I'm thinking, because you're not addressing the important thing, the gun violence in the street and people being caught in the crossfire. So I said to you, bold move that you showed up yesterday for that, because we need to see where they are and address certain concerns that we have. So I commend you yesterday, because I watched the whole thing and you said exactly what you needed to say and how you felt like saying it, and they were at the right place for you to grab hold of them, because sometimes they don't want to, give an explanation. They turn a blind eye because it's not you. I don't care what position you hold. It's not you. So when you ask something, they should be able to respond, because they're right there. I don't care what agenda they had going on, but if you showed up, there should have been some answers. There should have been a sidebar like, okay, we're going to, what you think, I'm sorry, but I didn't see none of that. I didn't see none of that yesterday, so that's shameful on them, disgusting on them. And like I said, keep doing what you're doing. I'm with you, not 100%, 200%. Wherever you show up, I'm going to be there with you, because I figure it could happen to me, and I would want the same support. So support someone in this moment, because we never know. We never know. I always say a stray bullet doesn't have a name.
Thank you, Francesca.
No, go ahead, sweetheart.
Okay. I just wanted to say that from this point on it, my platform and what I'm just going to bring attention to is just all the shootings just this past week. From October 1st is the date of my daughter's death. So from October 1st to right now, what I got is 5 5 murders, 5 killings. So if you tally up to all the killings plus the shootings, I really got to ask the mayor that specifically when I have a meeting with him. And that's my thing is I want to speak for everyone, not just my daughter. And I just feel like this is bigger than my daughter. And somebody got to take the initiative. I put this on my back. I got all this other weight that I got to carry. So as I continue on, I'm going to be mentioning everyone that has been affected by gun violence.
Absolutely. And I join you absolutely on that. Like I said, I'm against violence. Everybody that's connected here tonight, that's all I talk about. I represent domestic violence, being a survivor myself of 17 years, and I took on the mission that not only am I going to represent domestic violence, I'm going to be representing, seniors, special needs kids, autism. I'm boots on the ground for everything, anybody that needs me for. And you have me on board because there has to be a change here with that gun violence. There has to be a change. We're losing so many of our youth, so many on the streets. And sometimes they're on the crossfire. Sometimes they're not even looking for it. They're hitting another individual, but you hit somebody else, and that's something that the family has to deal with. Now you have to deal with that situation. You didn't ask for that and didn't even see it coming. So imagine anybody else that went through it, they can help you too. And I call for anybody that's available next Tuesday here in the city of Patterson, the City Hall, anybody that would like to join us. We will be going to the city council chambers next week. I think we can round up there 6-7 is the meeting that they start. So anybody that wants to show up, those chambers are open for the people. And me and you, Mike Taylor, we will be, meeting up and talking and see if we can come and bring and do a dialogue with these individuals to bring some type of solution, some type of program, something like boots on the ground. Because I have to say, we have so many officers that are being graduated and being, not only that, graduating and putting more cops. I don't see that. I see it in certain areas, but not everywhere. And if I'm not mistaken, I think a bunch of them now in City Hall. I looked every time I log on. There's a bunch that have graduated, and I think there's been like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I don't see that on the streets. Supposedly, that's the advertisement, more policing and more on the streets, and I haven't seen that. So if this is what you're doing and promoting, this is what we should be seeing in the streets, because if you have hundreds and hundreds of cops that are being, are graduating, and you're promoting this on Facebook and social media that we're going to have a safer city, we need to see those officers on the streets, on those hot spots, so this situation don't continue, because they shouldn't be sitting behind a desk in the police department. They should be outside. The more officers we have, the more they should be out there. My opinion, Mike Taylor, I know you've been seeing a lot of their, meetings and stuff that they hold in the chambers, and we've been seeing a lot of policing graduating, and it is promoted that 50, 100. We don't see those cops outside. I'm sorry. I have to say, I don't see them outside. I'll see a few walking the beat on Broadway. I can count 5. That's what I've seen so far. Out of every month or whatever, every 2 months, 100 or whatever, 50 or 200 are graduating. Where are they? Apart from what we already have, where are they really being stationed? Or are they even being stationed? And also the key point, are they from Patterson? Are they even going to care to be in a hot spot? So I throw that question up there, so you can consider me as your ally, where I'm going to be helping you also. Reach out to me. You have my number, and we can definitely have a sit-down. You need me to do a sit-down with anybody else along with you. I always say it takes a village, and it only takes 1, 2, or 3 people to start getting the ball in motion. So you have me not 200% on this because, like I said, how it touched your door, it's touched my door, not in that aspect, but in another aspect. And something has to be done. When you ask a question, respectfully give the answer or give a solution. And we don't get that. So that's the problem right there. And that's the problem we have, and that we have to go up more, the administrators, to try to get answers and to get stuff done. So I've been there, Mike, with you in different situations that happened with me. I've had to go over people's heads. It shouldn't be if you're there for the people and to address the people. So that I can't, that I can't fathom in my head sometimes. But we'll be cleaning house in 2024. That's all I got to say. So, Mike, I will be with you next week on Tuesday. Yet again here, I give you my heartfelt condolences. If there's anyone here that 100%. If there's anyone here that would like to say anything tonight, feel free. He's on here tonight. I'm honored that he even, came and reached out to me. I know it has to be very hard sometimes to speak because of what he's going through, but I admire his strength. So if anybody has anything they would like to say to him, he's on the line.
This is Dr. James. Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Yes.
James. Go ahead.
First of all, Mike, I'm very sorry to hear about your daughter.
Thank you, Dr.
James. Two things. First of all, whenever you have all this murder and crime and stuff, usually you got to look at the police department. Like Francesca said, where are they, stationing the police or whatever? Now, I know I live down in Monmouth County, and the way they do it with the police is they go to the academy in the county, and they graduate from the academy, but they don't necessarily have a job. The cities and the towns have to still hire them after they finish the academies. And a lot of times, the cities and the towns will say they only have enough money to hire, a certain amount of police. So they don't hire everybody that graduates from the academy immediately. Sometimes they have to wait before they can actually get the job. Sometimes they have to go to other towns or other cities to get the job. Because usually when they graduate from the academy, they graduate for the county. County is the one usually trained. I don't know how they work in Patterson. That's how it works down here. But if it's murders are that bad in Patterson, it sounds like they should have the National Guards there or something. But the police know exactly. They know where these guys are at. They know exactly
that's what I'm
where
going to call for the National Guard. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm going to go to that extreme. Now to give me something to throw in there. I'm going to ask for the National Guard.
Yeah, because if they're murdering like that, they need that. But look, the police know who's doing this. They know, and see, that's another thing. When you look at the police, unfortunately, sometimes the police are not. They're not necessarily so honest either.
Nope.
And they let them get away with that. They let them get away with it because they sold them a couple of dollars. They selling drugs, this and that. You know what I mean? So it's a whole big problem. But, like I said, if the murders are that bad, they need the National Guards or something if they're murdering like that. Because Patterson is like 5, and you said 11 days they already murdered 5 people. That's like stuff that happens in New York City, like the Bronx or something, where they got nearly 2 million people. I don't know how many people live in Patterson, but they probably only a couple 100,000, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's no way they should have crime levels like the Bronx or Brooklyn, So that's all I have to say. I'm very sorry to hear about what happened to your daughter.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate all what you said. I needed this moment. Thank you. I wasn't even expecting this. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Yeah, this is Adrian.
Hi. Okay, Adrian. Then Latoya, right?
Yes, but go ahead, Adrian. It's fine.
Go ahead, Adrian.
Yeah. I just wanted to say my condolences. I'm.
Thank you.
I've been a advocate for violence for a long time and working in the community, and it's always hurtful when a parent loses a child, no matter how old the child is. The child could have been 52 years old. It's still hurtful when you lose a child to violence. And I want to send out my prayers to you and my continued condolences, and I pray that you keep doing what you're doing in your advocacy work, because it's only going to make you stronger.
Yeah, that's how it all started. all my advocacy work started from my daughter in school. So I'm a little bit prepared.
So this is full circle, right?
Thank you so much.
God bless.
Okay, Latoya.
God bless you too.
Yes. Hi, Mike. My name is Latoya.
Hello, Latoya.
How are you?
I'm all right. I'm blessed still.
Okay.
Still blessed.
Yes. I definitely want to give you my deepest condolences.
Thank you.
It's just so disheartening to know what's taking place, and that's just happening too. It's just so sad. But it's going to take you. You're already doing it, but it's going to take you to make a difference. So I would definitely say continue on. Keep your head high. God already went ahead of you, and it's definitely going to work out. You're going to get justice, but you just continue doing what you're doing, because it's definitely.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you as well.
Thank you so much, Latoya. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to?
Good evening, Francesca.
Yes, hi, David. How you doing? Thank you for coming on again. You have anything to say?
Sir, I don't know what to say. It's sad to see what's going on. I was listening to everybody speak. I don't only think it's the police department. I think there's a lot of things that need to change. We need more recreation, and we need more effort from the parents. Because sometimes the parents don't do the effort.
Yeah.
The parents are working full-time all the time. And
yeah,
that's the problem.
And
the kids are in the street. So there's no recreation, there's nothing. So
no,
well, on
no,
the
go ahead.
side of things, as far as the meeting last night, they are constructing, they was taking ideas for the new recreation center, and it really did sound good. It really did. So I'm hoping with this new recreation of the meeting that they had last night, the mayor, that it will be beneficial for the kids and all, because we need something. It got to start somewhere, and I give them that. But there's no way. But there's no means I was trying to be disrespectful. It's just that I, as a father, couldn't just sit still, and I'm not gonna sit still, and I'm always gonna continue to hold everybody accountable. But to be honest with you, I'll be somewhat unrealistic to put all my energy towards the elected officials and the mayor when you got literally cowards with guns running around Patterson. So I don't hear, and the thing is, the fact of the matter is, I don't want to get things twisted. Is the fact of the matter is, right now, I haven't heard of any cases being solved, or the actual 4 that I know of, but I've seen 5 articles that it was killings and about 2 more shootings. So what I'm getting at, that's how, feel what I'm saying, everyone, that's how many shooters are running around the streets of Patterson right now.
Absolutely, Mike, because I think ballpark that day, I think That same day, I think there was 4, if I'm not mistaken, because I think I got the article. There was 4, and then after that incident, there was like 3 more, and I have the addresses and stuff because I always put those clips on my Facebook. I'm for the recreation, but I'm very realistic in what I'm going to say. Sometimes we have to address one issue first, and that's the violence first. Now,
thank you, Francesca.
Now, I'm very partial and very strong when I'm going to say something. Recreation is all well and good. I'm for it. I'm for it so the children don't have to linger in the street. But in order to have a recreation, you have to address the first issue that we have, which is a serious issue, is that gun violence. Okay, now let's say this recreation gets built in the area that is being built, and our children are going there, and is a safe haven, and they come out and there's a crossfire of somebody shooting. We're back to the same situation, to square one. That's what I'm looking at. I'm for the recreation. I heard, whatever they were saying yesterday, I heard it. But we have to be mindful that we have a situation now that you can build whatever you want to build, but until you don't address this gun violence, there's no reason for you to put these things up because our children are still going to be on harm's way no matter what age they are. And that's something that I'm always speaking on. I'm not against, remodeling these parks. I'm not. Some people attack me and be like, oh, you don't want to see new stuff. No, it's not that. I'm going to keep it real. This is being recorded. I'm going to keep it real. You can fix all the parks you want. You guess one thing, my grandbabies will not be playing in that park where I have to be, ducking and ditching if somebody drives with a car and they shoot up in the air. And I'm always saying a bullet doesn't have a name. God forbid these children are playing in these parks and you're not handling these gun violence and one of them gets shot. Why? Because we're not addressing that situation first. So I'm okay with the parks being built. I'm okay with the initiative that they're doing a recreation center. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is that we're not addressing the real issue, which is the gun violence. We're not addressing that. And we're all grown here. No one up here can't tell me that if they see this on the news, we're on the news constantly because of this. Another lady got shot, another guy got shot. We can't be blind to the fact where I want a parent to tell me, do you feel safe bringing your child to a park and someone happens to have a beef and they start shooting and you're ducking and ditching under a park bench or something or hiding behind one of those swings or something of a tree, avoiding this situation. So until we address the big problem that we got, which is gun violence, I would think I would leave that to the side right now because our children are not going to be safe no matter how many recreation centers you put until you address this big issue that we have, which is gun violence. There's no secret. I walk up and down Broadway to go to work. I work on Godwin. There's no secret to that. People have wanted me to leave my patient. I'm very faithful to my patients. I don't care what area they live at. I'm very mindful of my surroundings, and I'm very careful. But who's to say me going to work, I get caught in a crossfire with a bullet that has nothing to do with me? I get it. And I'm putting my life on the line just going to work in an area where we all know it's not a good area. My area is a hot spot. Everybody knows that. But I still go to work because I'm covered with the blood of Jesus. And I said, God, you know what? I'm going to work. Cover me. Whatever happens, shield me. But I shouldn't have to walk out the house and ask to be shielded where I should be able to go to work and feel protected and safe. But I got to look at my surroundings to make sure that if those two are fighting, I have to start running because I don't know if they're going to pull a knife or a gun. And that's the mindset I have when I'm walking.
Permission to speak?
Yes, go ahead.
This is Miles. How y'all doing?
We're good. Go ahead, Miles.
Good evening.
I think it's a slap in the face to talk about them say we can put up rec centers now. So you telling me you want to put up a rec center now after people done died when they should have been up way before that?
Thank
that's
you.
What they plan on doing. That's the most embarrassing thing out there. Besides, when they start building these rec centers, they got to go through planning. They got to go to labor boards and all that. That takes years. You know how many people would die by the time they get 2 or 3 rec centers built up and put in place?
Exactly.
For you to say that, we need rec centers to keep it, that is embarrassing. You mean to tell me these people died, now you talk about maybe we should get rec centers? Come on.
Exactly.
You should have never took them down in the first place.
Thank you so much. And Miles, Mike is here. Mike, I want you to know that Miles is always watching the council meetings and stuff, and he's very up to date with Patterson. He's a very strong, open-minded person when he's going to speak also. I just love everybody that's up here, but Miles is always like on point and strong with his beliefs because he does follow the council meeting. And Mike was actually at a city town hall meeting where they were discussing this recreation, and he went with his family to address, his grief and concern of what happened to his daughter. He's okay. Like he said, the ideas and stuff for the recreation is good.
Is this Mike Jackson?
No, Mike Taylor. He's the one I said that he lost his daughter to, gun violence too. I gotta say, yeah, he's up here, and I'm honored for him to be up here today to speak on the stuff that's happening in Patterson, and it touched his home with his beautiful daughter. May she rest in peace. But he showed up. I gave him kudos and a bold move. He showed up where the mayor, Luis Velez, Charlene Khalid, all of them were there, where they were talking about building this recreation. And we're discussing now, Miles, how you're going to build this thing, which is needed. But
first of all, through the mayor, the vice president, and the president, because when you talk about stuff like this, the National Guard should have been here months ago, even last year when they was getting shootings going on, killings going on, cops getting out of control. It's sad that they wait till so many people have to die before something has to be done.
Absolutely.
Now you go down there. Now this is the crazy thing about it. Well, I think it's like you said, almost like 10 days. In 10 days, like 7 people, 6, like what? Almost 8, 9 people got shot up.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
And then what? Yep. And months before that, like 4 or 5 people got shot up. I live in Patterson. I live on 11th Ave. We had guys out there with these assault rifles shooting at each other like they own the streets. And now they talk about putting up a rec center.
Yes,
and now we should go down there with our shoes and put them in their asses. That's what we need to do. Because it don't make no sense to say, hey, we need a rec center. A rec center ain't going to save a kid if you can't get some guns off the street.
Then pardon me, and I don't know, I'd be so saddened when I hear this and everything.
Yeah, think about this, Mike.
When they say a rec center, you need multiple rec centers because you can't put it on one side of town and not have it on the other side of town. If you know what I mean.
Because back in the days, they had like at least 11 rec centers running around Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I remember the neighborhood house. Used to be on Grand Ave, right across the street from Bragg's. They used to have all kinds of events for kids. We used to have big old movie theaters in the empty parking lots. Kids could go enjoy themselves.
Can they do that now?
No.
Okay.
I got kids living on my block, 10, 11 years old, curse worse than I used to. And I'd be scared to say something to them.
Because the generation is different.
Yeah, but every time you talk about somebody getting shot, we need to do a rec center. You need to get off your behinds and do what you're supposed to do. Get some guns off the street. And this is the crazy thing about it. These guns, there's no gun factory in Patterson. Show me a factory in Patterson making guns. They coming from somewhere.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
Where's the gangs that's supposed to be out there chasing after these gangs and stuff? Where them cops at? They know what's out on the street.
They do. They do. And Miles, the thing. Go ahead.
I hate when they come on there and they counsel me. The mayor, he know where to be found. But when you got a photo op, he shows up.
Talk about it. I say it's strictly real. There's no judgment up here, Mike Taylor. We speak our mind, and I absolutely, agree with Miles what he just said. I say it all the time. There's always ribbon cuttings. There's always celebrations for this, celebrations for that, and we still don't address the big issue where our children are innocently dying on the street, on the crossfire, and we don't address that. It seems like he does not want to speak on that topic at all. You want to build all these buildings, you want to build recreation centers, and I'm saying it, I know it's much needed, but deal with the situation that's happening now. You can build anything you want when you address that gun violence.
Hey, Mike, think about this, Mike. Think about this, Mike. They talk about, we building this part, that part, but you ain't building no protection.
Thank you. Safety.
That's what I'm out there. You got a baseball field out there full of kids and people in the stands. You got crazy people running around shooting.
Make it make sense. Make it make
That's
sense.
What I'm trying to say. Yeah.
I haven't been to the stadium yet. I haven't been to the stadium. I haven't been up there, Miles. I haven't been at a park. I'm scared to take my babies to the park. I don't care if they fix them with bronze and gold. I don't care. I haven't taken them because of that situation. And I tell people, like I said, and I told Mike here, I'm a very strong advocate in my Facebook. I'm okay with them building this, building that. I'm okay. But my thing is, I always put on everything that they're building, let's address the gun violence first. I'm okay you want to build this stuff. Do people, let's do an example. The Hitchcock Stadium, they built a huge citizen building there. They have to be around that noise 24 when they have anything going on there. How is their quality?
That didn't even make sense.
No, the quality of life.
How are you going to put a citizen building next to a football stadium?
Thank you so much. I always say make it make sense. All these parks that I'm seeing now, there's Buckingham Park now that's being fixed. You're painting this pretty picture. I don't care how many pretty pictures you put up there. Every time you post something, I'm always posting, this looks great, but let's address the situation that's happening in Patterson. I'm going to say every week, every day I look at an article and there's always someone that got shot. They either survived or they either deceased, and then I start thinking, you want to build and make Patterson look great, but we have this situation where you can rectify all this money that's going on into all this stuff. You can't tell me you can't build something where we can attack this situation on the streets. Build a building where there can be an anti-gang stuff where you have a group of people addressing the gangs.
Gang violence, yeah.
Yes. Another area where you can address this of the guns. Have a program where, see something, say something, turn in the guns, no questions asked, but at least they're not in the streets. All these stuff you can suggest to them, but they would prefer figuring out there's a abandoned building, can go up 25 stories high, do rent $2,500, $3,100, $1,600, but we're not rectifying the problem that's going on. We have parents that are grieving.
Francesca, let me say something to Mike and all everybody that's listening.
Go ahead.
I was at a meeting in North. I do a lot of advocate work in North too, because some groups I'm involved in. And they was talking about maybe we should buy back guns and buy this and that, right? So one guy was on a council meeting up there. He stood up and said, no disrespect to y'all talking about buy back guns, but I'd be damned if I'm going to get my gun up and these people out here shooting at my kids. Because if we get back now, if we go out here and get back these guns, he's about what's going to stop them from killing us? It's getting to the point now. People want to carry a gun just to protect themselves, and some people don't even know how to use a gun.
Nope.
Crazy.
No, absolutely, and I can believe you. I can believe you. He said that.
Yeah, and they were talking about buying back guns. And he said, I want to know how you're going to find. Look for the people who bring them guns into the city. I know you know who they is because in North, there's no gun factory in North.
No.
The name of gun factory, is building guns in New Jersey. Guns is a $1 billion. Guns is a $1 billion organization. Some people out there ain't gonna give a damn about who got a gun.
I know a bodega. I know a North Jersey bodega. They got to go in there. They got guns.
Yeah.
Now, serious joker in there talking about they got guns. They got guns. One joker talking about he got weed.
See, and then we got cops out there know about this stuff, but yet we can't do nothing till something happens.
Exactly, and that's the stuff that upsets me, Miles. That when something happens, they hoot and hoot, and everything gets quiet, and they think we're gonna shut up and not continue. Like I said, Najee Seabrook, look what happened to him. Jameek Lowry, look what happened to him. We still have a missing man, De Jesus. Look what happened. No one is saying anything. They think the parents are gonna get tired coming up to the podium. No, we're not gonna get tired. I'm gonna keep addressing my.
Look what happened. They brought the attorney. They brought the AG into Patterson, and when he left, all guns started shooting off again.
But guess what's happening to him now?
I was making a joke about that. I would say maybe he the one that snuck all these guns into the city and said, "Hey, here y'all go out there, do what you got to do."
But what you think is happening? But guess what's happening? No, nothing. And guess what's happening to him? Now he's having a lawsuit slapped on him because they're accusing him of all the gun violence now that he did. Instead of doing better, it did worse. So that article is up there where he's being sued for doing a horrible job.
Yeah, you can't come to the city.
Huh? Hold on, Miles.
You can't bring a guy to the city and say, oh, he's good on gun control and he can control this and that, and then he comes to your city. And as soon as he leaves, people start dying? What kind
exactly.
of job did he do?
Can I say something if y'all don't mind? Can I chime in real quick? All right.
Go ahead.
I heard the convo here. Very interested. I've lived in Newark all my life. Right over here, South Ward. I'm down in the Central Ward now. But I wanted to say this. I've been around guns all my life, especially growing up where I grew up. All right.
I don't know if we lost him. I think we lost him. But Mike, I know you said you wanted to say something.
I just basically got to reiterate what you were saying pertaining to the lawsuit. Make it make sense how the same corrupt police department is now going to sue the attorney general for what he's doing and everything. So it's just like I just seen so much going on, like how you say ever since the Jameek Lowry case. It's just like, and it seemed like it's all because of the police mistakes and what they doing. Then they get in the way of the case. They just get in the way instead of actually doing the right thing. Finally, for example, I hate to bring it up, but even with the Jameek Lowry case, even if the police didn't do anything to him, but at least show compassion. However, he passed away. So with me, when I could tell you one thing, they ain't showed me too much compassion when I went to talk to the detectives. I'll tell you that much.
No, I believe you.
Another stupid thing too. That's like, oh, we just hired another 400 police. These guys just coming out of school. We need somebody with experience out there chasing these guys with these guns. Somebody know how these how they getting into the city, where they coming from. You're going to get somebody who just came, oh, I just graduated from the academy. Okay, so tell me where the girl's coming from. Well, I don't know yet, but we're going to sit your ass down.
No, exactly. And like Mike said, there's no compassion to when you're going to ask anything, absolutely nothing. Yesterday, what I saw, there was no compassion whatsoever. I was very, disappointed in what I saw up there. It angered me to the point that there was nothing being said to him the whole time as he was talking. On the contrary, like I said, there was one lady there that was talking out of, her mouth. And I was like, wow, throughout the whole time I'm watching the live stream, I'm like, sit that woman up and put like a muzzle or tape on her, because you know what? Unless it hits your door, shut up. Because the whole time I'm looking at it, I said, shut up. You have this father up there talking a lot of validation, a lot of truth, and you want to like dismiss and go like kumbaya with the recreation plan. Okay. In the moment where these individuals, these administrators are, that's where you go. That's how I roll. If you're there and I'm going to address a situation and you're ignoring me somewhere else, I'm going to bring it to where you're at. And I'm going to address it there so everybody can see it. But I see, and I can sympathize with you, Mike, because the first incident that happened with my granddaughter, where she had the marks on her neck, and I addressed it at the Board of Education, as I was talking, I individually looked at each of them to their face. There was not, I'm sorry to hear that happened to her. I'm going to address it. Come, have a sidebar with me. It was like next. I was bothered by the word next for the next parent to speak. And I'm like, ew. So I got to take this a little further, where I took it to the news and I expressed exactly how I felt about the situation. So my next step is that, like my next step is that if you're tired of hearing me over and over what I'm saying, you're going to address the situation, because I'm not going to get tired of speaking on behalf of my nonverbal granddaughter, because I am her voice. And if I can't take it to you, I'm going to just take it to the next level, I'm going to take it to where I have to take it, where I am going to be heard and something's going to be done. Because here in Patterson, they want to sweep it under the rug. They want to like tell you, oh yeah, we're looking into it, so the months go by, but you're not staying quiet about it, because I'm always like boots on the ground, calling this one, calling that one. Look, a month is going by, I still didn't hear nothing. Don't have me rock the boat, because that's what they like to do, because they want to get you tired, and they figure, well, she's going to get tired, let it extend. No matter how far you extend it, I'm still going to be going where I need to go so you can hear me. I'll still keep posting so you can see it. If it's nerving you, I want answers, and you're going to give them to me, because I can take it further to where you don't want me to take it. And then when they start coming into the city of Patterson, why is this young lady addressing this situation still, she didn't get no answers, then there's a problem, because I'm going over your head. Now you angry, but boo-hoo if you get angry. But that's how I roll. So I can understand with you when something happens here, there's no sympathy whatsoever.
Francesca, I heard that one of the people who got shot was related to Mark Jackson.
Yes, Mike Teller, who's on here tonight, that was his daughter. That died, and that was Mike Jackson from the First Ward's cousin.
So that's
that's
when he got into that altercation with one of the other councilmen or somebody.
Exactly. Who needed that instant to shut up, because he was grieving. He was expressing truth, expressing exactly what me and Mike are saying. You're standing up there saying.
Could I say something? I don't mean to interrupt.
Ahead.
This is very important.
Take the floor.
This is very important. Mike Jackson is my cousin.
Oh, okay.
All right? He's my cousin. Francesca, you heard what I said?
Yes. Uh-huh.
I'm holding anybody accountable. You already know it. Mike Jackson is my cousin.
All I know is, man, when he
listen.
No, go ahead.
But he being held accountable. The mayor being held accountable. All the city councils being held accountable. The attorney general is being accountable. Reason why I said Mike Jackson is my cousin, because everyone who I speak to when they say that, sir, is that they think that he's my daughter's mother's family cousin, and I have to emphasize that.
Oh. No, because I heard how, I thought they said it was his cousin or somebody got, that's why I was asking.
He is his cousin. No problem for asking, but it seemed like I got to specify that because a lot of people really don't know that.
Well, see, because I know when he was speaking that night, there's a time when somebody in the audience or even one of the counselors got to shut up and let the man speak. But somebody in his family, he just lost somebody in his family, and you're going to sit there and say something sarcastic.
That's where the ignorance comes, because when someone starts talking about a situation, someone felt the need to overtalk when it wasn't his chance to speak, and he needed at that moment to shut up and let him finish speaking. He had the floor. So I found that a little disrespectful, but I think that will be dealt with in a timely manner, because that individual never learns how to shut up for anything.
Now, this is where all the council members should discipline his ass, suspend him for saying something that damn stupid.
Yeah, and he's known for that all the time.
Yeah, but if they ain't going to stand up and say, hey, look, that was out of order, and kind of give him some kind of punishment, they could do that to him. If they ain't going to do that, this is the craziest council group we got.
No, exactly, Miles. Let me give you a prime example. When I addressed the first incident at the board education of my granddaughter, and I took it there to the council chambers, one, which I'm not going to mention the person's name, once I finished speaking, one of the council said, she needs to take it to the board education. We can't do nothing. You're a body of a whole, and you're affiliated with the board education. I turned around and I said, I brought it to where I needed to, bring it. It was televised. And I'm going to bring it where I have to bring it so it's seen and it's heard, because I said it responsibly me. It's my granddaughter today. I turned around to the constituents. It can be your grandchild or your kid tomorrow. So whenever they say something slick, I have a response too, because that is not your chambers. It's the people's chambers. So if I come to address a situation where it's not being dealt with over there, I'm going to bring it here. And if you don't listen to me here, I'm going to bring it to another level over your heads. So they have a tendency of wanting to say slick stuff, but when you say it to the wrong person, they know how to respond like I do. I'm going to give you a rebuttal. And I gave a rebuttal that day. I was like, I may not have to bring it here, but I chose to bring it here, because wherever it's going to be heard.
And when you take it to the next level, they should be right behind you.
And they don't. That's a situation that we're having. They don't, but then they get upset when you take it to the next level, because then that person starts, okay, we have a problem with this young lady. When I brought it to the news, they had an issue with that, because then it started going viral. Then they started saying, we need to not shut this woman, but address this situation before it goes any further. So when you take it up higher, then that's when they see a problem with it. I'm not supposed to leave a situation like that alone. Sorry, but not sorry. I will use every arm in my hand, every social media in my hand to address something that touched my home. If you don't feel something about that situation, I say it always responsibly. You are the problem. Everybody should be heard and feeling that when a child.
You know why Patterson don't want that stuff to go viral? Because once that happens, outside of Jersey, that's happening to other families, they start seeing that, they're going to have some serious issues, and they don't want to bring it to their town. That's why I say everything like that, all that stuff should always go viral.
Yeah. That's another point you just gave me. You just gave me another point.
Yeah, take it to the public. Let the whole public know what's going on.
Exactly.
Interrupt their gentrification plan.
Yeah.
Got to interrupt their gentrification plan.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't want you. And I think, did you speak to the news already, Mike?
Nah, I ain't speak to the news because I ain't feeling him either. I ain't trust none of them, because when I was going to the board Board of Education meetings. He didn't want to never have an interview with me. So when at my most heated moment and all, and dealing with a little bit of emotion, but not crying at all, I just was on some, man, just being honest. I ain't talking, I ain't write what I had said in the meeting. That's what I said. I ain't adding on, I ain't taking away from it.
Like, you got a point there, because most of them news company here in Patterson is in the mayor's pocket. Because when everything goes bad, it comes down on him, and he don't want that. Because you know he's running for Senate, right?
Yeah, and if you signed up to sit in that seat, you got to take the heat, because I'm the type of person, if you can't stay the heat, get out of the kitchen. And if the shoe fit, wear it.
He don't want that heat, and he definitely don't want the news bringing this up. Like, that's why I said everything should go viral, and he can't. He can't fight that. He can't skip.
No,
everybody. I think it went viral. Everything you're right. Everything definitely got to go viral.
Look what happened with George Floyd. If it wasn't for that girl in the George Floyd case, they would have covered that up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
it went viral. It went viral.
That went all over the country, even out of the country.
Exactly. I would take it. I'm going to give you, Mike, off on the sidebars two suggestions with two people that I follow on Facebook, that they're boots on the grounds, and I'm going to suggest them to you on the sidebar. Because Miles brought that up with George Foreman. There is a man that I follow there. I think his last name is Crump. He's very, very, very strong advocate, a very strong lawyer. That when he sees situations like this that are not being addressed, he puts it on blast. And I follow him on Facebook. So maybe we can reach out to him, because the more, like I tell you, the first incident with my granddaughter, when it went viral, I started hearing sidebar information by people like to shut me up. You know, you got to sit down with this woman. This is going like out of hand. But if I couldn't address it at the Board of Education, you did nothing. And if I couldn't address it in the chambers and you didn't do nothing, you had me in a position that I had to take it further. So if you don't want me to put Patterson on the map on a bad way, because you always want to proceed in the good way, I'm the right one. I'm going to put it in a bad way no matter how you want to paint it. You know, you can paint it like roses up in the air. I'm going to paint it black on this side when something is going on and you're not going to address it. That's what type of person I am. If you have a sit down with me, maybe I never would have went to that extreme. You chose.
I'm going to talk to some of the members from my organization, POP organization, who deal with domestic violence, crime.
You from POP,
I'm a member of POP. Yeah, I'm a POP.
Okay. So you from Newark?
No, I live in Patterson.
Oh, you live in Patterson. Okay, all right.
I know we got a POP organization in Patterson, too.
Hey, permission to speak here, Miles. Permission to speak.
Oh, this is Mr. Wilson? William?
Yes. William.
Yes, hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, I'm doing well, thank you.
When the next meeting, sir?
Pardon?
It's tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. What about it? No.
I want to know when the next meeting, they have their meeting every Thursday.
Yeah, tomorrow night. I want to speak to that. Before you started speaking, that I was wanting to speak, because that's the very thing I thought of. And here's how I wanted to look at it. I would like to give my number to the brother whose daughter was assassinated or, unalived. This is on tape, you see. So what I want to put on tape is my phone number for the brother to call me. I have his number, but I don't want to call him without his permission. So here's how I want to do this. This is a powerful statement here. And I heard one thing being said among all the things that were said, Miles said he's running for the Senate. That's a powerful thing. And so I wanted to talk to this brother. And if he would give me a call at the end of the show, my telephone number is 571-910-3903. That's all I have to say about that, because it should not be on tape as to what's going on here, because there's something powerful getting ready to happen tomorrow, okay? And ongoing from here as to this problem, okay? So, brother, any condolences to you?
Especially when our mayor running.
No, I'm trying to say this, man. Let me finish, please.
Oh, okay.
I'm telling this brother here. I have a show that comes on every Friday with Grown Folk Talk Network called Combating Systemic Racism Through Education. Comes on 8 o'clock every Friday night. Now, as to this issue, this is a national issue of great import, bigger than what any of y'all think. And therefore, I need this brother to call me, and I will help him send in motion things that will help address the issue in a most profound way, because you can't always let the left hand know what the right hand is doing.
Amen.
And if you do, you see, and as Sister kept saying, Sister moderator kept saying, and this is on tape. So because this is on tape, the universe shouldn't know what's about to go on here, because they can stop you, it can derail you. And this brother here may not be sophisticated in these ways, because you don't expect these kind of things to happen. So you got to become sophisticated, and there are people that can help you to address this matter more profoundly. Thank you very much for listening. And again, I'll mention my phone number one more time for the brother. 571, or anybody else listening, 571-910-3903. And I yield back the floor. Stay safe. Peace and blessings.
Mr. Sanford.
Thank you.
The fact that our mayor is running for Senate, we should put his ass on blast.
Oh, hey, no, he ain't going to win that Senate. Oh, he ain't win that Senate.
Hey, Miles, please.
I'm glad you told me that. I didn't know that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sanford. Thank you, Mr. Sanford. Mike, did you?
Peace.
No, thank you. Mike, did you write the number down? Because if you didn't, I'll text it to you.
Oh, yeah, text it to me, okay?
Okay. I'll text you his name and his phone number so you can reach out to him.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your sincere condolences. I appreciate you. Appreciate you all. Thank you, Francesca, for inviting me on the podcast. I really enjoyed it a lot.
No, thank you so much, and we're here to support each other. And like I said, I'm boots on the ground to help you. I am definitely going to text you Mr. Sanford's number, and please do reach out to him and speak to him. Please do.
I will, definitely.
Yeah, I'm strongly emphasizing you. I'm going to text you that number as soon as I finish the show with his name and reach out to him. I am going to log off. Someone has anything to say? You have anything to say, Mike?
Yeah, I got one more thing to say. Brother, it's a pop meeting tomorrow?
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
7 p.m. Call me, please, tonight. As soon as you get off there, please. Please.
Yeah, Mr. Will, Mr. Sanford could give you the information for that.
Okay,
right,
Mike,
thank you.
Mike, I'm going to text you his number and his name, and as soon as you get off, call him immediately and have a sidebar conversation with him. Definitely, please do. I want to thank you so much for coming.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, sweetheart. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hi, sorry. I was trying to get in, and I think I was talking with other people, and I apologize for that if you all heard me earlier. So I wanted to say this regarding the issues that are going on, and I know it was earlier on in the conversation, but we were at the Speedway Academy yesterday, and Star from our Monday podcast, Slot Time, he was speaking to the parents and the young people, and he said, I'm going to teach you how to commit murder. And they were like, what? He said, the first thing you have to learn how to murder is your ego. Because it is your ego that will cause you to make decisions that can harm you. So you need to learn how to get rid of your ego. And when we're talking about the shootings, that's ego. That's ego. That is, I can do it faster than you. I can do it better than you. I'm better than you. I can do this. I can do that. That's their ego. These recreation centers that are opening up, the plans, as you all said, it takes a lot of planning, a lot of approval. They might be opening up today, but they were in the works for 10 years ago. Nothing addressing the issue that is happening. Nothing addressing the issue that is happening. It's that ego, and I don't know. It's weird because you could be talking to and talking with the same person who's packing, ready to shoot, but they don't look like they are. They look like they're really cool and they're listening and everything's all right, and I can take this back to, my neighborhood, but they're the ones carrying and ready. And you're right, Miles, turning the guns in, it's not always the answer, because you have people who drive cars all the time, and then you have people safely, and then you have people who drive cars under the influence. So it's who's holding it and what their agenda is, what their goal is, or what their mindset is. But when he mentioned that ego yesterday and killing it, that makes a whole lot of sense. So we have to deprogram those who have been programmed. And they've been programmed, literally, we in our 60s were programmed by the cartoons. There was a lot of violence in the cartoons. And that has just graduated and elevated to being in your hand 24/7 if you have a device and you're doing the same thing on these video games. We have to find a way to deprogram and to bring people to an understanding that life matters. Life matters. Thank you. Thank you. My condolences to you, brother. My condolences to, it's so many, unfortunately, so many young people and older people getting caught in the crossfire. People are losing their lives unnecessarily. And I would be afraid to be a police officer personally. That's why I haven't applied, just between you and all of us.
Okay.
So it's like, it's dangerous just being on the street. You can become a target because of your uniform. Just like you can become a target just because you're wearing, sneakers that somebody else wants. We have to find a way to deprogram and then reprogram positive thinking, positive behavior, and love for humanity.
Amen. Thank you so much, Ivana, for that. Anyone else wants to say anything?
I was hearing that you're planning to run for city council. I personally don't know you, but we get along. I'll tell you something. It's easier to work outside when you're not sitting in a seat than when you're sitting in a seat.
Absolutely.
You see a lot more things happen than when you're sitting in a seat.
Absolutely, absolutely, David, thank you for that. I can always say they're not ready for me. That's why I like working on the sidelines better, because I'm not in nobody's pocket. I do what I want, and I say what I want. And like I said, I'm with Mike. We're boots on the ground. And I respectfully, I say they're not ready for me. I'm a person that I'm very honest. I don't like corruption whatsoever. And that's why I haven't looked at that move yet, because I like the way how I am now, because I'm able to express myself and do what I want and how I want in a fashionable manner. I don't come out of character unless I'm not, disrespected. That's when they see that situation. But like Ivana just said, that I absolutely in agreement with her whole entire statement. And like I said, with Mike Taylor, thank you so much. Really, I admire you tonight to be able to come on tonight despite of what you're going through, because I don't think I would have that strength, and I admire you absolutely. My highly respect goes out to you. You are not alone. We are all here, and I always say it takes a village. I am so grateful for everyone that came on tonight and gave, their phone numbers to reach out to you and help you in any which way you can, because, like I said, I got some heavy hitters here on this podcast. I admire and respect them. They have gave me advice of how to deal with my granddaughter's situation, and I have executed the first situation, how I'm going to execute the second situation too. So we're here. This is grown folks, talking. We're a big family, and here we have a lot of resources. Like I said, I got heavy hitters here where we have a lot of resources, and we do help each other. Yet again, I have to say my heartfelt condolences. I will always be on your side, not 100%, 200%. Wherever you go, I'm going to be there. I'm going to use my voice to help you, too, because I always say instead of being the problem, we should be the solution. It can hit my door. It hit my door in a different situation. I can never imagine what you're going through that it hits me. I got my only daughter, and I have 2 boys, and I'm always calling them to see that they're safe. Always calling them. So we're living on some awful times where I don't feel safe. I know the community don't feel safe. And with the situation that's going on, it's going to take a village. But when you started with 1 or 2 people, you get the ball rolling. Everybody else starts unifying. And I'm quite sure that I know 100% we're going to get justice for Mary Taylor. We are. I know we are. So I thank you, and if you have any, no, you're welcome. I love you. I love you. And I hurt for you too. There's not a day I'm not thinking about you. I always, I leave you to yourself a little bit, but I do give you a little good morning, good afternoon. I'm here. That's how I am, and I'm just praying that we do get a solution for this huge problem. That we have here in the city of Patterson, not only with gun violence and the abuse. And we're just going to bring it together to bring, a difference and an impact, not for just us, for many out there. So I have to log off, so my colleague comes in. But, Mike, if you have any last words to say while we're still up here, feel free. And I did send you the phone number via text right now of Mr. Sanford. And please, after this broadcast, reach out to him. You won't regret it.
Just want to thank you for the invite, Francesca. Thank you, everyone that's who participated. I really feel all your energy and your sympathetic condolences. I appreciate you all for real. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You were in our prayers. My condolences again, and I will see you next week, but we'll still be in touch. Everybody that's on here, if you guys are not doing nothing, please stay on for John Monroe for Vision Care at 8 o'clock. Thank you so much tonight for giving your condolences to Mike Taylor. And like I said, it takes a village. When we both win, we all win. We have to unify and stick together to try to beat this gun violence and also this abuse that are happening with our children in the city of Patterson also. I thank you so much for giving any information to help Mike out. And I will be he knows I'm boots on the ground. I'm always going to be in contact with him, and he's definitely going to have me next Tuesday with him at the council meeting addressing this. So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you so much. Blessings. And
we love you, Francesca.
Well, I love you guys, and I can't do anything about it. I'm sorry. All right, so blessings to you tonight.
Blessings as well. Okay.
To all, peace and blessings to all. Thank you.
Peace and blessings to you as well. Yeah.
Thank you. I
you're
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
Keep your head up, Mike.
Oh, you're welcome. Definitely keep your head up. Remember, God already went ahead of you, Mike. It's going to work out for your good and God's glory. Yeah.
Amen.
Head up, Mike. Don't bend your head down, because you'd be like Francesca, always hitting the pole every now and then.
No.
I'm going to let that slide, Miles, because I'm boots on the ground. I'm worse than the military.
Okay.